It's been a long time since I did some analytical sort of stuff on this channel. I'll be honest, this year I've been happy to dedicate this channel to following COVID, and every time I consider making any other sort of content for it, I decide that 2 or 3 kliksphilip needs new videos more. But here I am. 2021 has been a strange year so far. I feel the downturn in CSGO's popularity has allowed me to return more to how I used to be, and I've been free to write new songs and to enter game making competitions and stuff like that. I believe YouTubing to be about 5% planning and 95% hard work, but I've been guilty of spending a lot more time than that on planning lately, and in experimenting with stuff that I can't really make content about. Just yet. I treated myself to an excellent HDR screen a few months ago, and even now, after having spent several months using it, I'm still a bit unclear about what HDR is, or how to tell if content is HDR. I get the theory, I don't need you to tell me that. I get that it stores more colour and brightness information so that it can retain more detail in the dark and light areas of the image at the same time, but let's be honest, in practice it just comes across as the bright bits looking brighter, which I quickly take for granted. And there seems to be a lot more flickering to thin pixel-wide details, which I assume is a byproduct of the greatly increased contrast. And I'm ashamed to admit that when I see something, I still can't tell if it's proper HDR or if it's just that my screen's making SDR content look nice and vivid. The easiest way for me to tell is to move my mouse cursor over it and to see if it looks dark in comparison. Still blows my mind to discover that the mouse cursor isn't pure white when HDR's on. My problem with understanding HDR is, what's stopping SDR from doing the same but with a bit more colour banding? It's not like you ever turn down the brightness when viewing regular content just to keep colour banding at a minimum, is it? And with HDR, while it's nice to keep some brightness in reserve for special occasions or for tiny little highlights, why limit it to those instances? It seems a waste. I'm still investigating, but right now it seems like HDR's main problem is the implementation of the tech. And so few movies and games do it right that it's muddying the waters for me trying to learn about it. What I have done is to take some holiday footage in HDR, and it's glorious. Mostly because it seems to use the effect more than most HDR stuff does. I most notice it in the sky. Sky is blue in a way that regular monitors can't do justice to. It's a glowing sort of blue, to the point where looking at it almost feels warm. There are also vivid reds and sparkly gold colours that I'm just not used to seeing from regular content. In fact, I find that most HDR content doesn't do justice to it either. And again, I still don't see why HDR is needed to do this. Surely you can just get the same effect from a very bright, vivid screen showing regular content. But I'll upload a quick, unedited, uncolour-graded HDR video from my holiday and you can see what I mean. But HDR is not what I wanted to talk to you about in this video. I want to discuss another experiment of mine with you. YouTube Shorts, which was something I dabbled with over 3 months ago. I made 5 videos on 2 kliksphilip and 5 on 3 kliksphilip. All of these were cut down, vertically framed versions of other videos I had made, intended to deliver some sort of story or information in under a minute. Some people were angry at me for making these because the concept of shorts generally goes against the idea of YouTube, and none of my shorts did very well at release. However, I noticed recently that a few of them had really taken off, and were receiving a lot of comments. Indeed, a few from 3 kliksphilip caught the algorithm's blessing and saw their view numbers shooting up. I'll start with the ones that didn't do well. The Skyrim shorts all still have very low view numbers, compared with my regular content. These are all amusing clips from a much longer video, but audiences found them unappealing, even though audience retention for these was similar to the rest of the shorts that I did. The other 2 kliksphilip one was a clip from Watch Dogs, which has done better than the rest, but still not that great. So 2 kliksphilip hasn't benefited much from shorts at all, yet. 3 kliksphilip did 3 pretty sky colour montages in the hope that eye candy would appeal to the shorts algorithm, but it didn't. Which gets us to the 2 short videos which have done rather well. These are both summaries of entire 3 kliksphilip videos. In other words, a minute of quickly edited info spam. I suppose this makes more sense. They are educational rather than entertaining. So it seems like if I do make more shorts, they should imitate the style and purpose of my regular content. Which sounds obvious now I know that, but had I not known this then I would have assumed that shorts would have required different things to normal videos. So I've learned something here, and it feels great to have the algorithm's blessing again. Typically, I've always had at least a few of my videos at any given time being pushed by the algorithm, but this year this hasn't happened, and I felt the pinch. YouTubers are so reliant on the algorithm sharing their content around. Screw your quality content, screw fresh ideas, it's all about the algorithm shooting one of your videos to the moon for a random period of time before doing away with it, never to be seen again. There's no rhyme nor reason, but unfortunately I am totally dependent on it, as the algorithm really is the only way I can hope to gather a new audience, else have my channels slowly shrivel and suffocate as they're shoved into a corner that nobody else sees. So let's take a look at what I've achieved from these shorts. The Sound of Pain video has got the algorithmic blessing twice, but view-wise still hasn't broken 100,000 views. I've gained 30 subscribers from it, which is nice, but not a huge number, and it's earned me £18, which again is nice, it's money, but it's about 5 times less per view than a normal video would earn. The other video is the one that's really taken off. I don't know why, I thought that people hated clickbait titles and thumbnails, but apparently not. This one has been viewed almost 500,000 times by now. That's several times more than the main video it was based off. The total watch time is almost as much as it was for the 4-minute long main video, which is insane when you think about it. This short has gained me a lot more new subscribers, all of which obviously came from it being pushed by the algorithm to new people a few weeks ago. And it's earned me almost £5, which is 1 pence per 1,000 views. That's 150 times less per view than my 4-minute video of it earned. And most of that £5 was earned on release day. Even though this short video is still monetized, it has effectively been demonetized for the duration of its algorithm-fueled boom. What a waste. I don't think I've known a monetized video to earn me this little before. Even Ogrub's beheading spree has earned me something, and that was instantly demonetized. It's reassuring in a way, because before this I'd have assumed that all those YouTubers with popular shorts were making a fortune, but really it looks like an even less reliable revenue source than normal YouTube content. And all I can really hope from is for these shorts to attract new viewers to my channel, which is all I wanted them for anyway. But while it's helped grow my channel, it hasn't benefited the main video at all. In the space of time the short gained 500,000 views, the main video gained 2,000. And that might have been from other sources. I got a comment from somebody saying that YouTube makes it difficult for viewers of shorts to check out the details for that particular video, and that the best way is to pin a comment to the short linking to wherever you want your viewers to go. I'll be honest, I haven't used shorts, so I checked it out and sure enough, it takes 2 awkward clicks to reach the video's description, versus just 1 to view the comments. Neither's ideal, I'm sure this is by design, with YouTube Shorts intentionally leading viewers to the next short instead of stopping off at the content creator's channel. And the audience retention for these shorts is terrible as well. On the surface it looks like a normal retention graph, if the video was something like 5 or 6 minutes long, or even longer. But to see so many people losing interest within seconds shows that shorts have a much shorter attention span than normal content on YouTube does, with people presumably flicking down to the next video the moment a second of the short video doesn't interest them. So what's the point in making shorts? They can help boost my viewing figures, though this doesn't translate to earnings or subscribers in the same way as normal videos do, so I wouldn't even see these views as being equal to the views my other videos get. Honestly, these shorts don't seem to help my channels an awful lot right now. YouTube Shorts looks like a knee-jerk reaction from YouTube to compete with the likes of TikTok, but they've kind of forgotten to give YouTubers a reason to make them in the first place. I was probably right with my first impression of them. These shorts serve as feelers, as a way of getting another ticket into YouTube's algorithmic lottery. They let you spam YouTube with your content in the hope that one day they'll be seen by somebody who otherwise wouldn't have seen it. And from my perspective, it's always nice when all the content I've made gets a second lease of life. Even the shorts that failed to do well at release have since started outperforming their full-length counterparts. The Watch Dogs short now gets about twice as many daily views as the Watch Dogs long video does, having earned me a staggering 0.1 of a pence in the last 28 days alone. So it could be worth revisiting these videos again in a year or so, where maybe their views will have continued to grow until they exceed even the longer versions. How could they improve YouTube Shorts? Perhaps they could provide an easier way of jumping from a short to the channel in question, or to the longer video that it's based upon. I'm sure they deliberately haven't done this stuff in a bid to keep viewers watching new content, but it feels like YouTube has created shorts less to help its own platform and more just to spite other sites of a similar nature. But I'll continue making shorts as and when I feel I can, because it does feel like an investment. YouTube is getting increasingly crowded, and one day, shorts might become the only way that channels can hope to attract a new audience. Best buy some tickets into that algorithmic lottery right now.